At first we create an HTML template, changing the title, adding the style sheet, and now we create a class named clock. We giving style to the body, and now we are adding styles to the clock class. Our idea is to generate a square, and from that square we'll be generating a circle. As you can see it in the right section, we are giving margin auto to take it in the middle. Now we made it a circle and we are applying background color. For certain reason we are giving display flex and making everything center, and also giving the position relative so that the other elements can take absolute position absolute, like this. Now we are designing the center of the clock. After adding border, you'll be able to see this point. Now you can see it. Again we make it circle and give it a background color. Now it's time to add the Roman literals, which will be used as the our indicators. That means 12 Roman literals. We are also adding a CSS variable named I, which will be used to calculate the angles, rotation angles of the literals. So we got the 12 Roman literals. Now we'll style it. We are giving color, then position absolute, and now inset 10px. That means all the left, right, top, bottom will be 10px, and text align center. And now the magic happens. We are adding rotation transform property named notation. We'll be multiplying the variable I with 30 degree. So the first value will be 1 and 1 to 12. So every Roman literals will be multiplied by their I, and you got to see this now. We gave font size a bit 24 pixel to make it bigger. Now it's time to deal with the clock hands. So we write a class named hand wrapper. This will be used as a frame of those clock hands. That means hour, minute, second. In order to make you understand, we'll be giving this frame a border, temporary border, so that you can understand. Now we are lifting this section a bit up using translate Y property. You will see why. So now we are adding the hour, minute and second division. Let's style this. At first the hour section. This will be the thickest and shortest one. We are giving position, height, width, and now we'll be adding the background color so that you can see it. So we got to see this our hand. Now let's design the minute hand. It will be a bit thinner and longer. And also we are generating the second hand. You can see it. Now we are taking it to the middle by using flex align items and justify content properties. Now it's time to make them rotate. To making their rotating axis at the bottom, we are applying transform origin bottom to all those three divisions. Like this they will rotate. Now let's remove the border. It's time to make those cloak hands rotate. So we'll need to have JavaScript functionalities. So we are taking the reference of those hour, minute and second hands using document query selector and their IDs. Now we are taking the current date instance, and from that date we are taking the hour, minute and second instances. Now it's time to make each of those hand rotated. So we'll be setting their transform rotate property using JavaScript. So the hour hand will rotate like this. This is the rotation of the hour hand per second. Now it's for the minute hand and it's for the second hand. This is the rotation angle of the minute hand per second, and this is for the second hand. So as you can see, we are getting the current time. Now we will have to call this function every second, that means 1000 millisecond. So we'll be using the set interval method. As you can see, we get to see a fully functional clock. And if you have a look at the computer time, you can match it from there. Now let's add some naming styles for the clock. We'll be giving it a title and also a subtitle. Now we need to add CSS rules to make it perfect, to look it better. Adding some style to the fonts also, as you can see. Now let's add a footer also. We'll keep it at the bottom. Okay, we are done with the footer. Now let's add some more functionalities like getting the current day of the week and the current date. So we are adding another section which will contain the current day of the week and the current date. Let's add some dummy data there, as you can see it there. Now let's add some style. We'll be giving display flex and also add some background padding to look it beautiful. Now let's apply the JavaScript functionality. That means we'll be taking the current day of the week along with the current date to make it dynamic and sync with the current date. So we are taking the references of the DOM elements, day and date. Now let's get the day of the week and date from the JavaScript date instance. And let's apply it as an inner HTML to the DOM element reference. Since the date get day function gives us integer, in order to get the date name we'll have to create an array and return the index of the array. So we got it. We are removing the dummy data, and thus we got a fully functional analog clock using HTML, CSS and JavaScript only. And you can also check here from the computer time, all are perfect.